to all the August audience out there, and a very warm welcome on behalf of School Skies and APJ Consultancy. Hi, this is Dr. Pravina Jagdish, founder School Skies, and it's an absolute pleasure for me to welcome you all for our webinar on Discover the New Age School. Thank you so much for taking the time off despite your busy schedule and registering and being part of this event. We will definitely strive to make this every bit useful. So with that, I will quickly lay the platter for you. So what is in it? What the webinar holds for all of us or all of you is going to be this. So number one is going to be how digitization can be successfully implemented and how it can become a key to opening up schools in this era of pandemic. And for that, we have Tara Krishnan madam from all the way from Calicut here, and she will share her thoughts on that. And for the second speaker, we have Dr. Ajit Prasad Jain. So friends, like we all know, digitization is in the forefront right now, but maybe that's not the whole story in itself. It's just a part of the story. There are other queries that a lot of school principals and teachers may want to know, like what is in store, post-pandemic, and how a school is going to function. What is in store for the teachers? What is in store for the parents? So a number of other questions. And to address all of that, we have Dr. Ajit sir with us. And finally, I would love to take you through a brief intro on what are the different digital tools and how we can actually help you set up your online journey in a very subtle, easy way to take online classes in a very secure manner. So with that, now I'm going to take the pleasure of inviting Tara Krishnan ma'am onto our stage. So I think she's come all the way from Bhavan's Calicut, and hi ma'am, it's such a pleasure to have you here. And I wanted a brief intro on her, and this is what she told me. So she is prestigious. She is associated with Bhavan's for almost now close to 29 long years. I think that's a great number. And what was really great is that she started her career as a primary teacher at Bhavan's Calicut and in Kerala, ma'am. So, and now she's grown to the prestigious post of a principal. So I think that's a lovely and a very, very enriching journey. And we would love to hear how your school is handling the tech tools and what are your challenges and how you're succeeding. So with that, I pass the mantle to you, ma'am. Over to you, ma'am.
Thank you, Dr. Pravina. Let me first welcome, wish all those educationalists and the principals out there a warm good afternoon, and thank Dr. Pravina and Dr. Ajit Jain for inviting me to this webinar to share our school success story. While talking about the school success story, let me take you back to the month of March, which is a very, very busy time for all the institutions. We have the board exams, we have the internal exams, valuation work, admission work, everything, and total busy hours. It is at such a time that the pandemic and followed by the lockdown came to us like a bolt from the blue. We were all taken aback. Now what? That was a question that was there like a big question mark in front of us. What do we do now? The schools had to be shut down. The exams had to be called off, classes suspended. What now? Well, for a week, almost a week, we just kept thinking what's going to happen. But then we knew that we can't go on just sitting back and thinking what to do. We need to do something. We need to move with time. That's when the teachers had a discussion, and we decided instead of keeping the students totally in the dark about the classes, let us start off the classes using WhatsApp. The teachers said, yes, we'll try out that. And that is how actually we started the online classes through WhatsApp. But within a week's time, teachers came back saying that their phones were getting full. What to do now with all those voice messages and assignments posted in the WhatsApp? The teachers started moving on to different platforms, but there the confusion was we had to keep in mind the safety of the students. Cyber safety is very, very important. We had to decide for a common platform, which would actually cater to all our needs of the students. And as you know, a lot of calls started coming in this time when online classes are so much in demand. A lot of calls saying we will be giving you this, we will be giving you that. Okay, fine. But we wanted a platform we could totally rely on. And then we saw the webinar posted by Ajit Jain sir regarding the School Skies, Microsoft Teams School Skies. Okay, my IT department attended the webinar, gave me a report that, ma'am, it seemed to be really good. I wanted to see it myself. I called the person and said, I would like to have a demo. And they were prompt in it. They said, yes, ma'am, here it is. Went through the demo, passed it on to our management committee with all those positive things about Microsoft Teams School Skies. The management was also convinced about it, and we decided to go in for, they started our tie-up with School Skies. And I should say it was never a wrong decision. Now, what happened next is why we depended, why we were convinced that School Skies was the best for us, because they started off with giving a training. Within a week, everything was done, thanks to the promptness of the staff at School Skies, and of course my staff over here, Ms. Shubha and Mr. Ranjit. Within a week, everything was settled, and we're on the move now. The first week, we started off with a training for the teachers and told them that don't have to worry, because they were worried, how do we use all these tools available over here? How do we go about it? Teachers, as you know, we are all totally new to this new system of teaching. It's always been offline. So how do we go about this online teaching at such a short time? Said, okay, we'll keep it as a trial run for a week. And for a week, we had this trial run. Soon after that week, my teachers were feeling more confident about themselves, and they said, now what we want is another training session, because we already know about the tools and other conveniences in this platform. So we need to ask or clarify our doubts regarding these things. And we approached the School Skies. As already said, prompt came the reply, here's your second training. With that, my teachers became more confident, because now they could personally ask about each tool, how it can be done, what are the advantages of using certain tools and all that. So now we were fully into it. And I should say, with the starting of this online classes, we have learned that we need to be more organized. We need to do the planning well in advance. Our classes are mostly interactive classes with the students, because we know it's very difficult for the children to be just sitting in front of the screen and just listening. So we prefer conducting interactive classes. And we have also given them the course map, because they should know what is going to be the route they are going to take. Already parameters have been set for ourselves and our students. These are the things we made very sure. Another very important thing that we did is there is a discipline to be maintained for these online classes. So we made the students and the parents aware that children should strictly follow to this online discipline. Then the safety, their safety, online safety, which it was not a concern, because of course Microsoft, we know how it is. So that digital safety was something that didn't bother me much. Another thing, the tools provided in Microsoft Teams was exactly what a school need for teaching. The files, the notebook, the assignment, the whiteboard, whatnot. So it was like the teachers started feeling very comfortable using all these. And they could have personal conversation. All our classes went live. They could call, the attendance was properly taken. When they felt that there was someone missing from the class, immediately they were asked to switch on the camera. All these helped in giving a typical classroom atmosphere to my teachers. Thanks to you. Another thing is, we know that in between all this, creativity is also very important, because we can't lose up on creativity. That is when I added on the other subjects also to the regular classes like yoga, PT. Believe me, if through online, my teachers have been taking PT classes. Then we had the drawing class, music, craft, dance, everything. So the children were also feeling comfortable having all these extra classes also, which was always something they looked forward to even during the offline classes. You know how children are, they just look forward to the PT classes and the drawing classes. It was the same here also. They were looking forward to these special hours. Another thing we laid emphasis was to make sure the health of the students, emotional health, physical health, the eye care, all these things, and the cyber safety. In order to keep that, make sure that it is happening properly, for emotional health, we have provided motivational classes for our students. And for eye care, School Skies itself gave us the eye care webinar by Kaveri Hospital, and all the parents did attend it. Another thing, we had also these yoga classes for the students. Before the class, they were taught to do certain eye exercises. We had our prayer. Actually, that was also included, like just to give that school atmosphere. We added the prayer at the beginning during the first class, and that really brought about a change. Another thing is we are really following the MHRD guidelines regarding the conduct of online classes, because that is how the classes should be taken, and we are going by those guidelines alone. Another thing that Microsoft School Skies has helped me personally is to hold my meetings in very, very effective way. With the management, with the PTA, with my teachers, and the meetings among the teachers. Now, all that we have to do is schedule the meeting and it is done. So anytime, even late night, it is possible. So that was a very, very great advantage for me as an administrator. Another thing is we didn't want the students to feel that they are missing the school. So all programs like Reading Day, World Music Day, World Yoga Day, everything is being done online and they all enjoy it. Speaking about creativity, let me just share with you a few photographs of what my children really do during their online classes, because as I said, it's a discussion class and they need to do a lot of experiments at home. Please, 2 seconds to just share with you. Yes, here is they were learning about the different clothing, and that's one. The little one with what all he could make with papers is presented in front of you. Now this, other than chapati, even other things can be made. Here's our little cook with cut beans, very, very beautifully cut beans, and she's feeling very happy about it. And here is the mother sitting with the child of first standard, teaching her how to give her painting lessons, how to take her painting lessons, sorry. This is how the teachers have been using Microsoft. All these things are, our teachers try to avoid taking things from outside. They prefer doing things, making it on their own. And this is what you see over here. This is also done by the teacher. Here is the love for your family and the lesson about home sweet home, what the teacher has created using the various tools in Microsoft School Skies. That's about creativity. And we have made sure that the students are not missing their school. E-learning is helping the teachers break new ground. That is about our success story. Thank you so much for giving me this opportunity to share how we have gone totally online. Another thing about Skies is the recording facility. For those students who are not able to attend the class due to various serious reasons, they are provided with recording. And the way the tests are being conducted is also something I shouldn't miss out on. So all those assignments, exams are all being done very well. We have completed our first exam already with 12th standard and 10th standard. So once again, thank you so much for giving me this opportunity to share our joy with you regarding these online classes.
Tara, there is a question for you.
Yes, sir.
Ma'am, please throw some light on classroom management in online session, especially those students who have connectivity issue. Did you come across any such issue and how did you solve it?
We did, sir. We did have this connectivity issue. Actually, I should say in the beginning, sometimes we felt it was actually those naughty ones who were asked questions and immediately they say, ma'am, no connection. But now we seriously ask them to switch on the camera, and still if that cannot be done, we tell them don't have to worry. The recorded thing is recorded. We can always pass it on to you. So now that issue regarding connectivity doesn't happen. Now regarding for the teachers, what I have done is, in case a teacher is not able to conduct the class, I've asked another teacher also to be prepared. Just like we have a standby teacher.
Standby, yeah.
So if this particular teacher finds some problem in connectivity, immediately the other teacher takes over. That's how we have done it, sir.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Tara ma'am. I think that was brilliant. So I think the creative pictures must have inspired quite a number of teachers here. And it really gives me joy to see that, you know, the solution, creating or giving out a product is not a big deal, but seeing educationists use it in such a brilliant way really gives us joy. And I think to all of you out there, this was Tara ma'am from Bhavan's Calicut, all the way from Kerala. She said, I think if I would like to summarize her entire thing in 3 words, it will be safety, discipline, and proper training. So these are the 3 things that they looked for. And I think they pretty much got that from School Skies through Teams. And I really wish you all a great and fantabulous journey going forward. Thank you so much, Tara ma'am. So with that, we will quickly move on to our second speaker of the day, Dr. Ajit Prasad Jain, Director, APJ Education Consultancy, and ex-governing member, CBSE Delhi. And more than anything else, he's an avid technology lover. Being technology lover is one thing, but he was able to implement multiple initiatives during his tenure in Bhavans and successfully come out with, you know, beautiful outcomes. So, sir, we would love to hear from you. Sir, I'm going to just keep asking you a few questions that our, you know, our teachers or principals have already asked us in the sheet. So, my first question would be, you know, what is the new normal in store for us?
Actually, this is a beautiful question. See, earlier for a principal, there are only 2 arms. One is the academic and other one is the administration. The third part is the accounts. And most of the principals are very good in academics, and all the principals, they have to thorough with the academics. And there are vice principals or administrators to help the principals in academics. But then administration, that is exclusively only with the principal and the management. And finance part, some schools the principals are involved in finance and some principals are not involved in finance. So let us not go into details. But now in the present scenario, in the COVID or after COVID, what are the new normals? Apart from the academics, what they were doing, and apart from the finance, what they were doing fully or partially, now in the administration itself, they have a new normal called how to keep the premises safe and what are the other measures like social distancing and then sanitization of the children, and then testing the temperature of the children when they're entering into the school, and when they're going to the laboratory, how to keep the laboratory sanitized, and when they're going to the restroom, there what are the rules and regulations they have to follow. So as completely a new normal has emerged because of the outcome of this deadly disease. So this new normal is about sanitization. That is another new normal which with the principal has to handle now.
Okay. So that was nice, sir. I think that's another aspect that is another area where principals have to completely concentrate on when the schools reopen.
Yeah.
So, sir, when do you think schools will actually reopen? That's a big question in all our minds as parents, teachers, principals.
The the education is in the concurrent list. It is with both the state government and the central government. And the MHRD has already announced that no school can open, no college can open unless we give a green signal from the MHRD. So the MHRD has to decide, and MHRD is depending upon the green signal from the Ministry of Health Affairs. Okay, now according to the available sources, the Andhra government has already announced September 5th for the teachers to come and for the opening of the schools. And in Bihar also there seems to be some activity going on. But whatever said and done, in my personal opinion, even yesterday also there was an article, 18-page article about reopening of the schools. So though the WHO and the various organizations involved with the child welfare, they're all expecting that some activity, because almost 3 months the schools have been closed, and before opening there are certain activities to be done, like cleaning of the entire campus. It remembers me when 2015, when the Chennai was flooded, and more than 45 days we didn't open the school, and all the 45 days there was rain and drizzling, so a lot of moistures in the classroom and the benches, and almost all the benches are filled with the fungus, green color fungus. So I remember a team of parents, a task force they have found by themselves, and they came forward, and we have completely washed the entire furniture of the school in 2015. Now in this scenario, there are certain activities where we need to carry out at least before 15 days before the opening of the schools. So in my opinion, this activity may start from August 15th. What the indications I received from various sources that the central government is planning to extend the lockdown for another 15 days, and maybe by 15th of August there could be some light, but definitely in my opinion not before 31st of August, and it will be also go in a staggered way, not till all the schools, all the classes will start. As all of you know that I am also a member in the expert committee of Government of Tamil Nadu. So we have also given a report that the schools will be open only in a staggered manner. So we are concentrating on 9 to 12 first, 6 to 8, 1 to 5, or 2 to 3 to 5, and LKG or pre-KG to second standard. These are the various segments we are dividing the entire school. And even if you are opening, whether we will open 9 to 12, even if you open, whether all the children will be called on the same day, it is another question mark. There is another normal. The parents have to, the teachers, the principal have to work with the management. 50% on morning shift, 50% in the second shift, 9 to 12 is one shift, and then 1 to 4 is another shift. Or the roll numbers, odd numbers on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, and the even number on Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday. So these are all the new normals based on the availability of the infrastructure and based on the number of children in the class. They need to work on, because the statistics says in government schools in Tamil Nadu, the maximum number in each class is not more than 20 or 25. So the government may come out. This is the same scenario in everywhere for all the government schools. So therefore, they may allow to open for all the children on the same day, no shift, etc. But for the private schools, definitely we have classes strength with up to 40 or 42, 45. There are some schools which are having 60 also. So therefore, even if we start from 1st of September, that's what the indications from the MHRD or from the NCRT, from other people. But the CBSE is very clear that we need to follow the local government advice as far as the school reopening is concerned. So therefore, it all depends upon how the pandemic is going to go, because now though the Chennai is coming down and Karnataka, if you take the Bangalore is going up, and in Kerala also it is again going up. Kerala was almost flattened, now again it's going up. And Bombay it has come down, but outside Bombay it is going up. So therefore, nobody is able to judge or come to a conclusion when we can open the schools. But in my opinion, at least for class 9th and above, by the first week of September, the schools may be opened.
Okay. So it is up to the local government to decide on the school reopening. So that's the take, right, sir?
Yes.
So now this question is something that everybody would want to know. What is the digital preparedness of a school during this phase as well as the post-pandemic phase? How should the school prepare?
Actually, when the CC was implemented in schools, it is 24/7 learning for the children. In the same way, the parents, present day parents and the children, they cannot escape from the digitalization of education today, because the syllabus is being reduced, keeping in mind the schools will be open by 15th of August. So the CBSE has reduced by 25%, and they are from class 9 to 12, and they asked the schools to work on the reduction of syllabus from 1 to 8 by themselves. So whenever I'm talking to the principals in different Sagodhiya's platform in the webinar, I'm telling them, you call for a webinar meeting of all your principals of your Sagodhiya and identify some subject experts, senior most teachers in each subject, form a small group, let them work the reduction of syllabus into 1 to 8 instead of by yourself doing for one school. For example, in Chennai itself, we have more than 200 schools. If a child who is in Ananagar and in that school some reduction is done, and unfortunately the child is moving from Ananagar to from other parts of the Chennai, and he is getting admitted in some other school, their reduction syllabus is something different. That means the child will finding it difficult. So therefore, what I am suggesting to all the principals, those who are in online today, you at least the CBSE has come out with the hubs of learning concept. You must be having geographically closed some schools, 5 to 8 schools they have given, and even last week also CBSE has given a circular stating that if you want to switch over from one learning hub to another learning hub, you can apply to CBSE and then you can get change from one learning hub to another learning hub. So like that, you need to identify the learning hub, and the head of the learning hub has to take a call and call for a meeting of the principals and finalize the reduction of syllabus. But all the principals should have in mind that whatever the reduction of syllabus, it should be taught during the school hours in the interest of the child. My suggestion will be the leftover portions, whatever you are reducing, that has to be taken online or the school hours. So therefore, in a nutshell, the online classes, the technology, the role of technology is going to be there for 24/7 into 365 days. So therefore, the schools have to be prepared, the teachers and the parents and the children mentally, that online digitalization or the digitalization of classes is not going to end once the lockdown is lifted. So therefore, the online classes is a must, and it is going to be an online, ongoing process, so we cannot escape. That is my personal observation.
So true, sir, because a lot of principals, when they talk to us, they always ask us, ma'am, we can use all of this right now, but what about post-pandemic? Will it be useful? But I guess the way things are going, people are going to be using it in the long run as part of their curriculum, and it's going to be a door for blended learning.
2 days back, the controller of examination also had a webinar, and he was also talking about conducting of practical examinations, which is not possible, and especially the computer lab, because the computer lab, the children have to use the keyboard, and in between the periods, disinfecting the keyboard is highly impossible. It is not that easy. So therefore, he said assignments and online teaching can be done. So therefore, there are products now that has come out, DigiLab, doing the exact experiment using the computer. So that may become popular, and CBSE may also approve it. So therefore, the digitalization and online classes, it is going to continue even after the school hours.
Okay. So in fact, what I would like to share is, if you see in Bhavan's Chennai, for the 10th, 11th and all other classes, the tests are also online through Teams. They're putting up the test papers, they give a time slot.
This is one advantage of Teams, no? That conducting a test through Teams.
And through Teams and MCQs as well. Sir, and my next question is there anything specific you want to tell the school owners, sir? I'm sure there are a couple of them here. So the administrators, the school leaders, is there any suggestion, advice from you, sir?
Actually, the role of management is very crucial in the present scenario, because they need to understand the need of the hour, the need of the principal, the need of the parents, and the need of the children. And a school may be 40-year-old or 50-year-old, may be popular in that area or in that city. Now, if they are not going to handle this situation in a careful way, by way of disinspection, all that, it is going to be difficult. So therefore, they need to understand the requirement by the principal and by the school, and they have to provide everything. When you ask for the first question, what are the new normal? Now the new normal, as far as the administration is concerned, apart from the regular peons and ayas and class 4, we need to have a set of sanitary people to clean the classrooms and disinfect the classrooms and disinfect the laboratories, disinfect the restrooms when the children are going and using it. So therefore, a new set of people have to be recruited apart from the existing class 4. That is another new normal, and for which the management should understand the need of it, and they have to give okay for additional manpower. That is another new normal and another new responsibility for the management, and also for the principal to identify how many such people are needed. So therefore, now it is like earlier the management, they will come into picture only when during the admission process and during the budget preparation, etc. Now on daily basis, on day-to-day activity, the management should be get in touch with the principal, and the principal should get in touch with the management. Therefore, the role of principal and the role of management, both are like the two rails of railing of journey. So therefore, they have to go parallelly, and they have to, then only the school, the train school can go in a safest track.
Okay. So it's like, that looks like an additional responsibility to maintain sanitation and all other stuff in the school for administrators. Well, sir, with that, what do you think is the role of teachers and parents? Because these also become very important pillars when it comes to the school. So how can
I will tell you all the role of the teacher, the role of the parent, and the role of the children. Now, first thing is the role of the teachers. Now, another new normal for them is online teaching. And most of the teachers, they are not tech savvy. Now the circumstances have forced the teachers to become tech savvy. Now, in the last 3 months, they would have learned how to use Teams or Zoom or whatever the platform, and also how to use the whiteboard, etc., and how to prepare lessons, how to prepare PPT, etc. First, they have to accept that there is a new teaching environment. It is not like a classroom environment. There is an online environment. There is a camera before us. So that they have to accept first. Second thing is they have to accept that the children, not all of them are having the same kind of instrument in their hands. Some of them may have a smartphone, some of them may have only a basic phone, etc. So therefore, we need to give rooms, we need to give space for the children to adjust with the available resources to attend the classes. So therefore, the role of a teacher is very, very important, that they have to understand the affordability of the parents and also the children's environment at home. And the role of parents is they cannot deny the role of technology in today's context. Whether you agree or not, it has become an essential now, because the NCERT itself and MHRD itself has come out with the digital classroom guidelines, and they are also promoting digital teaching. There is no other go, because even if you are not going to use the online classes, the child is going to be sit at home and going to play PUBG game or some other game. So that time they are also online. So we cannot, parents should not blame the school that the school is having 6 periods or 4 periods, etc. Now that the ministry and the respective state government have come out with the guidelines how to go about digital classes and how many periods and how many sessions the primary can have, the middle school can have, the high school can have, higher secondary can have. So therefore, they have to accept the reality that they have to online with the school management, whatever the instruction they are given. And second thing is the principals and the teachers should make clear that they are conducting the online classes. It's not only for collecting the school fees. Unfortunately, that has gone into the mind of the parents. The mindset of the parents, we need to change, because the CBSE has come out, the Secretary CBSE has said, the Controller of Examination has said, the Director of Academics of CBSE has said that online classes is the only medium currently, so the schools have to follow that. And when somebody is asking about 75% of the attendance, is it compulsory when the school is not happening? How we are going to calculate the attendance for the children, those are going for the examination in class 10 and 12. And very coolly, the Director of Academics, Mr. Joseph, has said, you take the attendance of the online classes, you make a record of it, and then we'll take that into account. So I think in this juncture, I would like to say that I think there is a possibility in Teams that you can download the attendance in the Excel form and what time he has logged in and what time he has logged out. All the details are available. So there is another fantastic feature of Teams. So therefore, the attendance is going to be monitored by the schools or by the board, and they are going to accept the digital attendance, whatever the school is going to submit to the board. So therefore, my point here is that the parents also should understand that the CBSE is allowing digital attendance also as attendance the child has attempted. So therefore, they cannot give some other reason, and though they have everything, because in the previous webinar, there was a question by a principal, the parent, affordable parent, those who are having all the facilities, they refuse to allow the children to come online classes. What can we do, sir? So it is the duty of the principal to explain to the parents that the CBSE has allowed the online classes, and they told us to take the attendance of the online classes, and as and when it is required by CBSE, we need to submit it. Therefore, for the exam going classes, and the same rule will be applicable for other classes also, unless otherwise you have 75% of attendance in the online classes, your child will not be eligible to write the final examination. That way they have to put their foot down, and easily this is the easiest way to bring all the stakeholders online. So the parents also should understand that the rules and regulations, the eligibility for attending the annual examination may change. So therefore they have to change their mindset. And coming to the children, the same, what I told for the parents, the same. You cannot escape from the online classes, whether you are attending, whether you are attending or not. You have to come online and look into the teachers' lesson, because we are not sure whatever the reduced syllabus, it is keeping in mind that the schools may open by 1st of September. In case, as per the recent study, what has come in today's paper, if it is going to go for another 2 or 3 months, the schools are going to open in December. That's what that question also answered by Mr. Joseph, the Director of Academics CBSE. Even we are ready. This is the set of reduced portion we are given now. Suppose in case if there is a possibility that the schools are going to be open only in December, then there are only 2 months for the children to go through the classes. We are also will come out with the new syllabus and new sample question paper, everything accordingly. So therefore, no way, nobody is talking about 0 year for the children of class, at least for class 6 to 12. I don't think so 0 year will come. So that also the children have to have in mind, and they cannot think that how this year all the state board and the CBSE have promoted everybody. So we also will be promoted to the next class. So that mindset they have to come out, and they have to attend the classes regularly. There is no other go. These are all the responsibilities for the children.
Thank you, sir. I think that was very clearly said by Dr. Ajit Prasad Jain that it's a time when all the stakeholders have to go hand in hand with each other, kind of understand each other's problem and reach out to help each other. I think this is that time of the year when we stand together to drive something productive. So, sir, with that, I have a last question for you. It's a pretty painful question, and what do you say? It is a debatable question, may not be pleasant also, but I guess anything that is debatable, unpleasant should be spoken of.
Are you talking about financial?
Yes, very much. So I usually never broach this topic, but then I thought for the benefit of the people here, there is always a debate between paying the fees and what is the implication for the school. There are many schools which are, in dire need of, financial crisis. So any thoughts on those from your experience and other people in your circle, sir?
Actually, the reality is the schools are finding it difficult to collect the fees, and the parents also are telling that how to pay when the school classes are not going on. But on the other side, when the schools reopens, parents may say there is no annual day, there is no celebration, this and that, and there is no electricity bill. So the school has to consider reduction of fees, etc. But at the same time, as I told you, that they need to appoint some more staff, and they need to buy the sanitization material, and lot of other invisible expenses are going to mount on the shoulder of the principal and the management. So therefore, I don't think parents should grumble about the fees. They have to, if the children have to be in a good, healthy atmosphere, then they need to pay the fees, whatever the school is going to ask for it. There is no other go. So it is up to the principal to convince the parents and giving them, they may give different reasons. These are all the areas you are not going to spend. So why don't you reduce the fees? Now we have to give another counter that these are all the areas we are going to spend more. We are going to appoint more teachers. We are going to buy thermometers. We are going to buy sanitary material, and it is all consumable. So we need to buy a day and every day. Therefore, the expenses are more. So in no way the school is going to face any reduction in the expenses. So it is going to be, it may be 10% or 15% more than what they were spending on maintenance in the previous years. So therefore, these are the points the principals have to tell the parents and then convince them to pay the fees whatever the school is charging. But it is very painful area, but there is no other go. The parents have to understand the commitment of the school and what are the ways and means they have to keep the premises clean and disinfected, and what are the expenses. Everybody know, even their own house, they are doing all this. So when it comes for a small house, that much is expenses. But just imagine a school which are having 2,25,000 rupees square feet. They have to clean and keep everything ready, because no government is going to allow the schools to open just like that. In my opinion, the discussion what is going on in any government is there will be an inspection from the health department, and they will go and verify the sanitation conditions and the preparedness of the school in way of disinfection and continuously to maintain the same cleanliness. There will be surprise inspections. Otherwise, they will not allow the schools to open. So therefore, whether they are doing it or, because the parents may think the school may collect and they may not do it properly, but there is going to be a mechanism. Watchdog is going to be there from the state government about the school cleanliness and upkeeping of the school premises. There may be every week the sanitary inspectors may come, or they may appoint some government doctors, nearby doctors, to come and inspect and give a certificate. So all this are expected, and it is in the pipeline. They are discussing about it. So the Ministry of Health Affairs, Government of India is going to give a SOP, and the MHRD is going to add some more SOPs, and the respective state government has given powers to add some more SOPs. So, and finally, the principal and the management, they have to bear all the weight in the shoulder, and for which the teachers, children, and the parents have to support that. So definitely there are going to be a huge financial implication on the maintenance part of the school, so that the schools should remember, and they have to educate the parents about all this. So there is no question of financial reduction. Definitely it is going to be more only.
Okay. Thank you, sir. I think that was also very well explained. I think it's really painful when parents argue over school fees and other things, because the buildings may be shut, but what Dr. Ajit Prasad Jain was saying, the other things are going on. And in fact, there are other areas like digitization, teachers coming online, sanitation, healthcare issues, all of this has to be taken care of by the administrators. So I think that was very well explained, and thank you, Dr. Ajit Prasad Jain, for being with us today, and looking forward to more of such sessions from you.
Now it's high time for all the schools, though you may be using some other platform, but now you need to find out a platform which is useful for teaching and testing, and also taking the attendance. So I think in that case, what I have experienced is the Teams. Microsoft Teams is one of the tool. I think Dr. Praveena will give you a small intro and the various features available in Teams. You can go through it, and then if you have any questions, you can. Already we got 2 questions that I will answer once Dr. Praveena finishes her small presentation about the Teams, what are the features, etc. We will answer. We will come to the question and answer session at the end. Thank you, Dr. Praveena.
Yeah, thank you, sir. So I request the audience to also type in their questions in the chat box there. Even as I present, there may be things that's coming to your mind. So do please engage. So we want to make it as interactive as possible. With that, I'm going to quickly share my part of the presentation. So I'm going to simply tell you what are the tools that is there and how actually School Skies and teams can be helping. So one major thing that we as an edtech firm have seen during this pandemic is that the major step up from the teacher side, the school educator side to use technology. It's a huge revolution, I would say, because we've been in the industry from 2000. In fact, we implemented online admissions and technology in 2013 in Bhavan's Chennai. But from there to now, it's a sea change. Like everybody is taken to it and they've received it very well. Despite the initial struggles and all those efforts, they have come out with very wonderful ways of implementing. So I think we should really salute the teachers who've been the catalyst in driving this process. So I think we should really start with thanking the teachers for this. Now, I would not shy away from saying that School Skies has also done, our team has done a tremendous job in unlocking so many schools during the lockdown. We've given close to 100 webinars every day at 5 p.m. or 11 p.m. So of any schools who's asking for any tips or any processes of how to set up their classes, onboarded close to 25 odd schools in less than 50 days with 50,000 students and almost a lakh parent in addition to whoever was existing. So this is completely possible because of the scale up that Microsoft Azure can give us. And we've also made a difference to a few schools at the level of inception. For example, new schools, they just want to open it up, but they don't know how to reach out to the parents. They may put an ad in the paper, but what about really getting parental engagement? What about online admission? How do they secure their data? How do they actually put up their website? So all of this we have done for a couple of schools that started this year. And I would say they've digitally opened their schools. And this again, we are proud to share that, for example, Tara ma'am, I have not met Tara ma'am. None of my teammates have met Tara ma'am, but she's now a great advocate for School Skies teams and also a good friend. And she's keep sharing a lot of nice insights about how to use the platform. So from, I would say from Tirupati to Tirupur to Calicut, we've covered a lot of schools, and this definitely I owe it to the team and to the digital platform that's made this possible, starting from onboarding to setting up classes to training to giving away the certificates. All of this has happened merely through the computer. So I think that is again a sea change that we are seeing in the industry. And we would like to say that School Skies is a very trusted gold certified Microsoft partner, and we've recently signed up with Microsoft as a global training partner. So that gives us the confidence and ability to train all the schools, set up their accounts, and also give certifications to the trained schools. So for those who are wondering, I had a few questions on what is School Skies about. Can you explain the process and all that? So long story short, so from online admissions till the kid gets your TC. So be it your attendance, be it a dynamic website, sharing your lesson plans, your books or fee payment, all of this is run through School Skies on the digital platform. So this is an important part, especially during the pandemic. If you're wondering how you gather data, how you can safely keep it, and how you change the profiles or addresses of students, then again, School Skies is there to help you to collect data and also to address parents' changes in addresses or telephone numbers. So edits, so this is something that I was explaining. So in case a parent has got a change of address or telephone numbers, she can simply send you a profile request, and there we are simply cutting down on paper. So the idea is to use as less paper as possible and to keep it more on the digital side. So all edits can be done on the profile thing itself. And online admission forums. So like I was saying, there are a few schools which just reopened, and few schools may be opening up for admissions during a few months from November or October. So how do they go about do it? They can simply go and put on their process. This is a simple 9-step process, and everything, including the photographs, the documentation, everything is being collected on the online platform itself. Not just that, it also provides the school admission and a platform to view how many admissions are there. So you can keep it pending. The school administrators can approve it, waitlist it, or disapprove it. So if you see end to end, the entire loop is kind of closed. So there's absolutely no necessity for paper, and more than anything else, no necessity for a parent to come to your school and stand in the queue, or especially considering the current lockdown situation. So again, fee management is one another area where parents may have to again come to the schools or may want to go to the bank to pay the fees. This can completely be cut off. You can have the platform online, a simple click of a button on your website, or a simple opening up of the portal is enough for the parents to pay the fees. As far as the school is concerned, they can create multiple channels. They can create a number of fees. They can schedule it. They can collect it according to the categories. They can send a defaulters list. They can take any number of transaction reports. So all of this is possible, and we're also glad to say that we've done for close to 100 to 200 crore transaction very securely on this payment portal, completely by industry standard payment gateways that we've adopted to. So put it in a nutshell, from online admission to TC, please do remember the schools are not closed, just going paperless, just opening up on the digital front. And this is also going to lead to blended learning once the schools open up. So now I said from online admission to TC. So what comes in the middle is the education part, or the online classes part, where you relate with your student, take classes. So how do we enable it? So the entire Teams platform is facilitated by SchoolSkies, being their gold certified partners. And so why SchoolSkies or Teams? So they may be, like what ma'am said, they may be on WhatsApp, they may be using other portals. So there are many things that we would like to share on the advantages of this combination. But to put it very simple manner, I would say it's a very education segment friendly offering. So if you see other tools, they're all enterprise solutions. But this particular Teams is designed for schools, and A to Z everything applies for the school segment, and it allows unlimited, almost 250 to now they're taking it to 350 attendees at a time, where you can run parallel classes. And in fact, many of the schools are even conducting tests on this portal. So it's a one-go, everything in a one-go portal. So live interaction is possible, conducting classes in segregated workspace is possible. It's extremely user friendly. Like all that is required is probably a little bit of help from our side, and you're good to go from there. And so these are the couple of things that we would like to share on Teams. And security aspects, so widely stressed, like Tara ma'am also said that Microsoft, so I did not worry, but still I would like to elaborate on what is there. There are completely security compliant with 42 compliances in place. Entire data is encrypted in Western Transit, and the beauty is that every student has got a login password. So it's like a key to her or his class. So there is no necessity to share a link. The hassles of sharing a link and seeing to that the link is not going to other students, all this is completely scrapped off. So student is literally going to be present in a virtual classroom. The teacher is in a virtual classroom, and the entry, the key is only with the student or the teacher. So that makes it absolutely safe for the schools. So there are a lot of other apps, with all respect, Zoom and Google, all of these are wonderful apps. But what we need to check is whether it is applicable, which is more applicable for the school segment, which gives me one click all facilities in. So that way, if you see, Teams is definitely superior, like what Ajit sir was sharing. You can even download your attendance on that, and it can support up to 250 attendees. And the best part is you have translations. In case I'm speaking now, if I put in my caption, so it also translates it into like a subtitle. So it makes it very easy for the students to understand. So the huge advantage is the built-in Office 365 compared to the Zoom apps. So you have the Office 365 on the same portal. So you can conference, you can share notes, and also conduct tests and assignments. And it has got a two-factor authentication. So single sign-on through a directory and encryption of all data. So this is another layer of security there. Whereas in apps like Zoom, it is more of SSL encryption. So there is no time limit, and you can run multiple classes at the same time. But otherwise, a few other things would probably be the same. So this is like the differences that we need to evaluate when you pick up a online platform or an app for your school. So coming to Teams, it's going to be a little small story for the next 5-10 minutes. I won't take more of your time. So this is how your online classes is going to start. So before, you just check your audio and video. During the class, you're going to deliver a lecture. a very similar manner as to what I'm standing or sitting here and delivering to you all. And next important part is you can share your content, you can collaborate with the students, and you can have discussions even post your classes. So step one, you create your team, you add your students. It can be done manually, or you can send them an invite link. You can share a code with the students, and once you do this, the student is into your classroom. So this is an example of one school, probably I think this is Agarwal setup of how they've done it. So here you have your classes 10A, 10B, 10C, 10D. So all these classes are going to be set up. So you don't have to worry about it. All the students are going to be inside the classes, and you have the channels. You have the general English, Hindi. So whenever a teacher wants to schedule a class, she only has to click and schedule it. So it's as simple as this, like what madam was sharing. So I want to schedule a maths class. I'm just going to say 10th standard, general, or whatever subject, and then just shoot out a mail. So, or on the calendar. So once it is scheduled, the student is going to be notified in 2 ways. So one, it is also there on the channel, and she's also going to get an email notification, and it is also there on the calendar. So there is no worries for the teacher to make those calls or again put it up in WhatsApp. Also, you don't have to stress over that aspect at all. You are send it on the calendar and your work is done. So, and we can decentralize this. Different teachers can handle different classes at the same time. So it becomes like a very, very easy task for the teachers out there. And for the students, the email notification is a huge help. So once they join the meeting, you're just going to simply click a button and join and start taking your classes. And this is to start with, this is all you need to know. So this is going to be, you know, how you can start or stop recording, how you can turn on your live captions at the bottom. You can blur your backgrounds or set your backgrounds in whichever way you want. You can set your device settings. So all of this lies in this just 3 dots. So to start with, if this is something that you could master, I think we are good to go. And of course, the good part is all the recording stays in the feed. It doesn't come to your computer, or, you know, it's all there on the channel. So the additional work of taking the recording, sending to the students, or, you know, creating a repository for that is not there. So that I think is a very, very brilliant option in Teams again. So this also helps the student to go back and revise the class. So in any time he wants, he can go back and revise. And like what Dr. Ajit was saying, in case the school reopens, then if you want to revise a bit with your students, these classes are going to come in handy for you. So this is like the YouTube. So all your recordings up to 500,000 total videos, that's an unbelievable number. Up to 5 GB per video can be put onto Microsoft Streams. So that's a nice thing, and this is all preserved for only your school account. You don't have to share it with anybody, or this is the content that your teachers have created. So you can keep this very safely and use it later on when the school reopens. And as we see it, the digitization is going to be part of regular classes as we move forward. So this is just one portion to it that I was talking about. There's a lot more to it. Like you can share your study materials, you can collaborate with your students, the notes. So ma'am was talking about OneNote. So the collaborative efforts can be done on that. The board is there, Microsoft Whiteboard is there. So it is very, very closely replicating your real-time classrooms. In fact, tests are conducted online. The assignments can be graded and submitted back by the teachers as well. So apart from Calicut, I would always like to state Chennai Bhavans Vidyashram, which was one of the first users to adopt. I think they started in April end itself. So and they're doing brilliantly well, and they've had their hitches, but they've come out of it and they're doing it very well. And a lot of innovative ways, almost all the tools they've explored in Teams and School Skies. So apart from this, there were a few teachers who asked me what are the best practices. Yes, this is one. So please download your attendance. Teams gives you the option right here when you start your class where there's a down arrow. You can click, and at any point you know how many students have attended the class. So the additional burden of, you know, calling out the names, taking classes, all this can be strictly avoided. Digital etiquette. So again, we need to train the train the students especially. So a lot of memes have been going around as to how students are changing their names and, you know, how they're actually abusing the chat box and all that. So once you take a proper channel or a proper app, and once you get a proper training, and when you get your security policies in place, I think most of this can be avoided. You don't have to allow students to interchat. You don't have to enable students to wait in the classroom before you come. You can stop them from recording the classrooms. You can have settings to avoid students changing their names. And in all these areas, I think our team can definitely help you when we set up your classrooms. So this is again very useful for probably accounts or maths teachers. They can use the whiteboards, and even they can allow the students to collaborate on the whiteboard. So Microsoft Whiteboard is a brilliant app. So that is something that you can use. So now almost coming to the end of the session. So if you were asking me, ma'am, so how can you help us, ma'am? So what's that you're going to do for us? Yes, this definitely would require a little bit of help. If you have a great IT team, then it's I think you can be able to set this up by your IT team itself. Otherwise, what we could do from our side is set up your Teams account with Microsoft and DataSync, submitting your affiliations, getting your approvals, getting all the users onto the team. That's a big task. So domain verifications for you, creating the classes, structuring it for you, provisioning of email addresses even to 3,000 odd students and 200 teachers, any number. Our number is unlimited for us. And recommendations on how to set up your classes and security policies, like how to cut the interactions, the chat abuse, all of that, and then handing over the entire account to your administration. So this is where the account setup stands. And most importantly, training. So like most teachers are already using digital tools. However, so they would still require some amount of hand holding. So this is where we step in, and we can give you the complete training for the admins, mock demos for the teachers, and training on best practices, what you do when you go online. And of course, hand holding during 1 or 2 classes. When you start taking your classes, a team can be there and support you. And we can also support you till we hand over the account to you. We can give you some queries, and then we can align you with the Microsoft team in case there are any other issues when you are handling the classes. So this again is something that we've been giving out on the recent times. So we give a certification of MIE. So that is a Microsoft Innovative Educator Certificate to your entire set of teachers, unlimited number, how many ever is present. So that has very huge benefits. It makes your school a very Microsoft certified teachers schools, and it helps teachers to have a good community where they can interact about the different tools. It makes them part of the global community, and I think it's brilliant on their CV. So it also motivates them to do further more on the aspects of digitization and online learning. So this is about the Microsoft Innovative Educator Certificate that is also going to be issued by the School Skies team. So I'm going to leave you with this very simple thought. I hope I didn't speak a lot of jargons, and I kept it very simple. So technology is never going to replace great teachers. That is not even an option, not now, not in the future ever. But technology is going to be a great tool, transformational tool in the hands of wonderful teachers and principals and educators like you all. So this is the thought that I'm going to leave you all. And as far as School Skies or APJ Consultancy or our Microsoft partner is concerned, our absolute endeavor is to help you succeed. So please do write to us on whatever you would queries that you would want. And I'm also going to assure you to join us and to learn, to share, and to explore for the various demos that we've set up every day at 5 p.m. where we have only 2 to 3 schools joining us. So it's more interactive. You can ask all your doubts, and these sessions concentrate on best practices and everything. Apart from this, we are also putting up a lot of healthcare webinars for students at home. So for registrations, I would recommend you to just take a call, and you can pick up a phone and make a call anytime to this number. So I'm just going to read out the number 999-402-1195. Pavitra, you can also leave it on the chat box. So do take a shot of this number. Please do call us to schedule your free demos and product demos and get all your doubts clarified. You can also email us at schoolsupport@schoolskies.com. So that I think we've come to the end of the session. And I thank you all so much for spending this valuable time with all of us. And I also extend my thanks to Dr. Ajit Prasad Jain and Tara ma'am for being here as our panelists today. Thank you so much, ma'am, and thank you all.
There are 2 questions here.
Yes, sir.
The first question, I think either you or Dr. Jagdish can answer. Is it possible to see all the students while teaching, ma'am?
Okay, so I can take that. Sir, as far as Teams is concerned, right now you have 3x3 frame. So you can see 3 on top on 3 at the bottom. So 9 videos can be 3. So 9 videos will be seen at a time. but you can pin any student and you can see her video. And now they're also launching the 49 video screen. So very soon, I don't know, I'm not sure of the date, but probably by next month, we'll have a 49 students visible coming up to the screen. So you can pin people and you can ask them questions. That's what the schools are doing right now. So you can make it interactive that way.
Okay.
Yes,
The next question is, I can also answer, but I think Tara will be the right person to answer. Any remedial measures possible in online class? If so, how can we separate children like remedial class for low achievers? Definitely it will affect their self-esteem. Sir, what is the way for taking remedial classes for low achievers without affecting their self-esteem? Or can we incorporate such measures into teaching learning process?
Well, sir, I would say, as you said, we can't separate them. So first, we can have the general class. And once the teachers identify those students who they feel need to get certain extra classes, it can be done later on.
Yes.
They can schedule a separate class, and that can be done, sir. So that way, their confidence also stays in place, and they're able to understand the lessons better when the number is less. That's
okay. Now I have a question. In such cases, for example, in a class of 40, for let me take my own subject, mathematics, the teacher is identifying that around 8 or 9 children are low achievers, and we are creating a separate block, a separate group for them. And after school hours, we are going to call for class, online class. Whether any child can able to see how many children are there in the group, who are the classmates, Dr. Jagdish or Praveena?
The students, we need not, if there's a full group there, they can definitely see the other students there, sir. But we can disable.
There are only 8 children, those are slow learners, and we are having a separate class, slow learners class, and the same way we can have IHUS class also. So if we are going to have a class after school hours, whether for the any child can see who are other 7 people, those who are slow learners.
Yes, in the audience list they will be able to see, but we can disable the interchat and other kind of stuff. We can disable it, but the audience list will have the
having a separate class apart from the.
That's what. Can't we have a separate?
To have a private group, create a private group. For example, you say class 10, coaching. We don't label it as low performance because they can see it. Class 10 coaching.
No, we can say class 10 additional coaching.
Additional coaching, and then ask the teachers to manually add those students. So that the group is not visible to the other students in general, and they can have the continuous classes there.
Can't we create a separate group?
Yeah, we can
create a separate private group.
Right.
Add the students manually that require this coaching and call it whatever you need, and then only those students will have access to those groups.
Okay. So the idea is, and since it is done manually, the others may not even know this group exists, except for the 10 people who are in the group. Am I right?
Correct. It's a private group.
Private group.
Ma'am, actually, we have been trying to do those things. That's why I was able to answer immediately, because and even the recorded thing, once it is recorded, the teachers again play it for these children.
Oh, nice.
The recording is sent through WhatsApp for them to once again view. That's how we take care of these late bloomers.
Multiple channels you're adopting. I mean, even in the age of technology, I think all this is possible. Okay. So Ajit sir, can we call it a day, sir?
Yes, I think so.
Okay. So Pavitra, is this slide visible on, the number, because a lot of questions are coming on the number 999-402-1195. Is my slide?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
So thank you all. So thank you, and let's call it a day. Thank you, Ajit sir and Tara ma'am as well.
Thank you.
You need to wait for a group photo.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because you don't get good photos, so.